Hello everybody, in front of me I have a piece of paper, a printout of a photograph just onto ordinary paper, and a piece of carbon paper. I've got some masking tape, brushes, pencil and some watercolours. Now you may have acrylic paints. You just use them like watercolours, but you add a lot of water to them. And or you may have watercolour tubes. You just put out a little bit of the colours that you want. To start this painting, we're going to put the piece of paper, attached piece of paper, to a board or a flat surface with masking tape. Now it's stuck. We want to copy this picture the easiest way possible, and the easiest way possible is to use carbon paper. Carbon paper has two sides. Usually it has a pattern or writing on one side, and then the inked side. You have to place the inked side against your paper. That means that when you press, the ink will go onto your paper and you will be giving yourself some outlines. You can check as you go along by flipping it over if you put masking tape on the top. So you'll have your paper, your carbon paper and your picture. The picture just goes straight on top. This is where it's different from tracing, because tracing you have to put the tracing paper on top of the picture, trace it all, then turn it over and trace it back onto paper. So carbon paper saves you all of that. All you have to do now is go on top of any lines that you want to use. If you want to, you can do some lines that are shading, but I usually use it just for outlines to know where everything goes. I've got a bit of this is a picture of Crieff and the hills, but I probably miss out a few bits just so that I can make faster. There's the trees, and they go all the way along. There's lots of trees in Crieff. Crieff means hill of trees or something like that. And there are quite a lot of houses in this picture, but I'm just going to put a few square bits so that I know where the houses go. If you have a good photograph to use, then just you should decide what bits of that photograph you want to have an outline to, and then just press with your pencil on top and get it all done. I'll lift this. You see it will all come away like a little pack, like a book, if you've got all your masking tape on. I'll show you. There's the picture. Now we're over to the carbon paper. And then all the lines, all the bits of outlines I've done. Have a look at it. You can check and see if you think you need more lines to follow, then if you've kept the masking tape on, you can just go back and do it, because you can always check by flicking up and down. I'm fine with what I've done now. I'm just going to give it a little bit of colour. I'm using watercolour today. And watercolour is what it says. It's water coloured. So you must always use water. Put your brush into the water. Oh, that's better. And then choose the colour that you want to use. I'll choose some blue for the sky. And just paint it all over. The more water you use, the lighter the colour will be. And I'll do some green for the hills and the trees. I'll do the trees greens. Now you will notice that when you use carbon paper and you're putting lots of water and stuff over it, it doesn't rub away. The carbon is ink, and so it just stays. It will always stay, and you can, if you've done a lot of patterns with it, then you'll see it through the watercolour. The problem with it is if you think you've done a lot of mistakes, you can't rub it out. Now, I suppose I should do a bit of purpley hills maybe. Oh. It's looking lovely. I'll show you this at this stage because I'm not really going to do much more to it. It needs to dry a little bit, and if I want to, I can paint in all the buildings. But I've done mostly everything with the, I've used all my outlines, so I think I've done mostly everything. And I could just keep on working away as long as I wanted to. Oh. You can make it quite abstract colours and very bright colours if you want to, because after all, we're hoping for brighter days ahead. Speak to you soon. June.